Ready, Skip?
Already.
Talk about...
Tiny bit chilly today.
Yeah, bright.
It is bright.
Westerly winds, that might not be too bad. We'll see. Off to
hopefully Newtown for lunch.
Yeah.
And then the excitement starts round about 3:30 this afternoon, when we thread our way. You know that proverbial expression, the camel through the eye of a needle. This is the nautical equivalent. It's in Juna through shallow water.
Yeah.
And it'll be an interesting
Very
experience.
blunt needle we are, aren't we? What's it called? Hurst Point, going up behind Hurst Castle.
Hurst Castle. Is it Keyhaven we're headed to?
Yeah, we've discovered a pub.
Ah, yes.
We'll tell you about the landlord a bit later.
Yes. Tiny bit anxious, folks, about this landlord. Cameraman's grinning, but I'm actually a bit concerned for my safety.
TripAdvisor reviews are of an angry man.
Yeah.
Upsetting his clients. We're going to go and see if this is true or not. We'll put the record straight if it's not.
We will.
Yeah. Right. Shall we ship?
Yep.
It's fairly low tide and I haven't put my instruments on, so before the man up top tries to earn points out of this, I'm going to go below and find us some instruments. Splendid. November, not bad, eh?
In fact, there is a fairly significant place we're passing right now. Just a month or so back, we were out together in two boats, mine, which tends to be a little bit cleaner, slightly longer, slightly nicer than this one, was carefully tucked away when this one went aground. Very quiet levels of panic with the small meat on board as it went aground.
No panics.
And we were told that it was down to system failure of multiple pipes and valves and bleeding systems that had been put on, but I will leave it to the skipper here to explain what actually happened.
I ran aground.
Yes.
No, I didn't. I ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
Thought it was my fuel filters, but it turns out it was my fuel gauge that was faulty. Chips him off over there. So yeah, I ran out of fuel. Turns out my fuel level float meter is kaput. Not my fault at all, basically. Skipper Oliver has got he's got some new gear. You know, he likes to talk about his gear. He loves his double handkerchiefs in his various pockets. By the way, it's so mild in November now. We're just stripping off here. But I'll show you what, and you can talk about them.
So I've got this very expensive pair of boots called Dubarry, which the heels came completely off after about 5 years, and Dubarry refused to do anything about them other than give me 10% discount off a new pair. So we looked around at others. This is brand coordinated with my jacket and my foul weather trousers and my lightweight jacket and my nice shirt. So the brand coordination, you'll notice the lovely little red icons here. But look, these are brilliant. They're almost like skiing boots. So you can adjust this however tight or loose you want, and you've got a quick pull on here, which is fantastic. It's already waterproof like that, but to double waterproof it, not that on this boat, of course, you need it. We tend to go so slow and always so far away from any water, but look at that, you see, it's brilliant. And then, best of all, excuse my butt, but look at the grip on that bad boy. I mean, that is grip to die for.
There we are. Another modelling fashion show by Oliver. Coordinated. Probably got red pants on.
So here's the plan. At the mouth of Beaulieu River, we're going to sail southwest to Newtown Creek. At Newtown Creek, we're going to drop our hook somewhere outside the entrance, where we're going to stop for a bite to eat. We're then, after lunch, going to head off 260 degrees, ending up at the mouth to Keyhaven. Now, Keyhaven is very tide restricted. You can probably see here that at places we have no more than 0.4 meters of tide above chart datum, so we need to get the tides right. We'll then feel our way down the creek, around this shoehorn at the bottom, and we're going to anchor or pick up a buoy somewhere in the middle here. Later on that evening it'll be dark, but with plenty of torchlight we'll get in the dinghy and we'll head on up the creek, feeling our way through the shallows, getting ashore at Keyhaven at the Hard here, hunting down Gun Inn. I'll tell you a bit more about this place shortly.
Dee, before you pour the coffee, come and have a look at this. Starboard side.
Oh, we've got a new buoy.
Starboard side, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
3 new lit red
Oh.
navigation buoys on the Beaulieu River. Getting in and out on a dark night was always tricky, but that's going to help.
That's slightly disappointing, isn't it? It's like, yeah, where's the skill gone?
That'll do us. Oh, look at this. That's what it's about. Newtown Creek in the distance.
You can use patio cleaner on your teeth there, he was saying for the hour.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm impressed how tidy you've done it. It's almost like you've just done a New Year's resolution.
Tidy, I've done what?
Well, I mean, have a look. Show the viewers. I've never seen this place ever look tidy, but look at that. All that food neatly stacked away. It's amazing. I'll have to tell Rachel. She's going to be proud of you.
You're a troublemaker and a stirrer, Dave Oliver.
No, no.
No. You're a troublemaker and a
exhorter.
stirrer.
Bye. By the way,
Got to say, we're in November. It's not bad weather. This it's pretty warm. So we've just come around the spit, first point. Track down here. You can see the castle over there. What about this for a little spot?
why did you bend in?
Tell us about the, because you read the TripAdvisor ratings for the Gun Inn.
Oh yeah, now I don't want to say too much, so just keep
We can
this to
edit this, we can
yourselves.
bleep it.
We looked at the TripAdvisor because the skipper on this trip has made one or two, it could be suggested errors. I'll get him to talk about tide calculations momentarily, but he was ranting and raving over this new pub we'd never been to called The Gun. And when we looked at the TripAdvisor reviews, it has to be said it's the only pub I have ever seen reviews of where no one comments on the food or the decor or the waiter or waitress, but instead the bulk of the reviews were about the horribly abusive landlord. Why would you ever go there, said one TripAdvisor review. So it's our intention to go there undercover, a bit like the Panama Papers, and we're going to confront the landlord after we've got a meal and no one can spit in it. We're going to confront the landlord with these Panama Paper equivalents. That's what we're going to do.
Well, at least we're going to find out for ourselves whether there's merit in the comments. Man, this is good. Eh? November. It's pitch black. It's very late. It's got to be at least 6 o'clock.
How are we going to do this?
Yeah.
We're good.
Great job. Great job. Oh, hang on. We haven't got our... Yes, we have.
Feel good.
Feel good in.
This till you
Open.
slightly.
Open. Throttle up. Power. So, where are we going exactly?
Got the slightest clue. There's a green boy there.
Aha! Green boy. Up to the bag.
Yeah.
All good? Yeah. So this is a do not land here jetty that we've discovered. Oh my word.
So the Gun Inn, it was built in the 1700s. It's been a pub most of its life, but not only that, it was a baker's once. It was even a mortuary, apparently. It used to be very popular among the soldiers of Hurst Castle. And even though these soldiers had their own tavern, this is where they would like to visit. They said they preferred the brew and the sight of the local wenches. Verdict on the food? Pretty modest menu, to be honest, just 5 to 6 pub classics. Tasted good, slightly overcooked. Very nice atmosphere, very warm, very friendly staff. Landlord was absent.
What do you reckon of that pub then?
That pub, I think, it was actually a rather nice lady served us.
Yeah, it was alright.
Very careful to watch out for what we wanted and all that. Food was a bit mediocre.
One thing worth noting is they had 230 different whiskies.
Yeah, and we didn't try one of them.
We didn't try one. Go easy, mate, go easy.
For sure.
Holding on, I'm going to fire up. Oh, sandbag. Sandbag. So we're alive, we made it back alive.
If you look at his face, it's quite white, folks. Take a look. It is quite white.
It's
Several reasons for that. We met a man in the pub, whose story was so long it was worse than the abusive landlord. We had to get out. And so we did a quick...
I hope he's not watching. Sorry, Nick, if you're watching this. I liked you.
Yeah, production boats. I give you production boats, just sullying you. And it's cold, it's dark, it's a very long journey. Only to discover, to our horror, when we got there, what, Dave?
It's your ground.
Well, it's not just
I'd
a ground,
totally
is it?
gone
I mean, it's about 300 yards from the nearest bit stretch of
Noticed
water.
how some people embrace adventure and some people just whinge.
Embellish.
So I took my shoes and socks off, pushed us out of the mud, we got in it, we got home. It was all so easy. Now we're here, Canadian cheddar. By the way, it's the best cheddar you'll ever buy. Canadian cheddar. Don't get any other cheddar than Canadian cheddar. We're trying to think of a game of cards that you can play with two people, but neither of us can remember a game of cards that you can play with two people. Playing rummy or something. Rummy cup, he called it. I think that's a tile game. I think this is rummy, but I'm not sure. So anyway, Dave's taught me how to play it. We've played 2 games so far. How many have you won, Dave?
It's been close on both, and the stories...
None. He's won none.
No, but the stories about you and your underpants and the doctor this morning have been really quite disturbing. I can't get my brain straight on a game, you know. We're talking about serious life issues, and you're trying to fudge your way through some trivial little card game.
I had a hernia repair needed, and I had to go to the consultant to consider what the options were, and he sent me behind the curtain and he said, if you could just drop your trousers and your underpants, Mr. Abetz, which I did, standing up, cough and all that, and he insisted on just having a regular conversation with me while my trousers and underwear are around my knees. It's just the most strange, unnatural situation I've ever been in, I think. Anyway, I'm going to go and win another game. Last time we went out on cool runnings, you can be very glad I didn't have a camera. His head's blocked. And we ended up anchoring up.
Quite nice, though. Canoes with lights on, do you remember?
And we had to unclip the bottom of his holding tank, and the contents of the holding tank flooded the whole of the floor and the heads.
You'll have to tell them what a holding tank is.
The holding tank is where all of your waste, human waste, is stored after you've been to the lavatory. Gallons of it, solid matter. And so he said, Dave, we need to sort my tank out. Can we anchor up and do this? It's like 10 o'clock at night. And so we unclip this thing at the bottom, and it just floods the place. Honestly. So he said, Dave, we need to sort this out. Wait a minute. And he strips down to his underpants. I'm sorry, but it's affected me so badly. So I've got this vision of him in his underpants, nothing else, slopping around in this stuff, passing me buckets of it to tip over the side.
That was an awful experience. It really was.
I need counselling. It went on for hours. It went on for hours and hours, didn't it? What have you got to say for yourself?